I have a very old can of Varathane colors in plastic, white, which we used on a fireplace mantel and railing. It was a great product. I love it. Now I find it is unavailable at all the usual places that we bought it. How many times do we run into that? We get used to a product and they decide to modernize it or junk it, huh? Can you give me any information? Because we live in Canada, some paints have been discontinued, but are still available in the United States. We travel there often. It would not be a problem. So if you know if there's any place in Washington that can be purchased, I assume they're in Vancouver, then the brand name is not important, but it was Varathane. The product itself is what I'm looking for. Any suggestions? Interesting research on this particular one. It happens to a lot of the companies. RPM International is a large company that has purchased Zinsser, Rust-Oleum, DAP, Varathane, and Testers. All those companies. They all come under the same heading now. And what happens is they reorganize the competitive lines and decide who is going to do what. And in this case, they appear to have shifted all their plastic enamels to the Rust-Oleum brand, which we usually think of as only for metal. But they are now for other things than just metal. So there are plastic enamels in the Rust-Oleum line that could be exactly what she's looking for. In fact, it might even be the same product. They just shifted the brand name. Or there's Krylon. Now let's just take a look and see. Rust-Oleum on the left and the Krylon on the right. This Krylon is another company that specializes in plastic paint for plastic, and particularly the marvelous thing that they can do is they stick to that cheap patio furniture that gets old, and you can actually paint it any color you want and bring it right back fresh. So Krylon does that. Now, one mention, some of you have talked to me about melamine paint. Let's understand what melamine paint is. It was kind of made to repair old melamine, but it was also made to be like melamine. So a good hard plastic that you could use on many things. And I remember many years ago, we did a demonstration for the television on using melamine paint. And in our shop, as we prepared and we practiced, we couldn't get it to work. It kept leaving us bubbles and pock marks. It was terrible. And we tried and we tried. We tried everything in the book. So we called the manufacturer and we invited him to come over and show us. And so he tried on air and it didn't work. So it was really not working at all for us. What we finally boiled down to and got a real explanation was that this is a very thick paint that needs a long time to dry so it can settle and flow almost like liquid plastic. And our studio was too dry. And so it set up too fast and never got flat. And if it had a little bubble, the bubble never popped and went away. It just sort of came up like on a pancake and left you a hole. And so you have to do it in a fairly humid environment and give it like days to dry. So it's not one of those quick things. It can be done, but really only well horizontally. On a vertical surface, it's going to sag and drip. So melamine paint is probably one of the hardest paints to work with. Get the knack for it. It can give you a nice job if that's the kind of finish that you're looking for. Other than that, stick to these spray-on types or other ones from the standard plastic paint people.